Hi, how you doing? Thanks for reaching out. This will be a pretty quick video, but there's a lot of nuance and there's a huge body of literature written about your topic. So I'm going to show you a couple of strategies on how to find peer-reviewed stuff in the academic library. Second, how to strategize to get the stuff that you want, since there's like so much stuff written about this. Okay, when you go to the academic library, it works off of keywords. So if I do poverty, for example, if I went out to the open web or I went to AI, it would look at all the different words and synonyms related to it. So poverty, poor, low income, unemployed, underemployed, and it would kind of like have all of those attached to your search. This one only looks at these particular letters in that particular way. So it's kind of like it's just searching for the exact letters. It doesn't look at your context, it doesn't look at your IP address, it doesn't look at anything except for those things. So if somebody said low income, you'd have to do an or, low income or unemployed, and you'd have to add those words. So right now there's 60,000 books on poverty, but if we expand it out using those keywords, we're going to go up to 73,000. The same way you can narrow it down. So let me show you going to the advanced search. My mouse is acting funny today. Are you loading? I'm waiting for some more words to show up here. So let's say we just wanted to do low income or poverty. Can you see that? So in the advanced search, if we want two words or more, like a whole phrase of words to stick together, we have to put them in quotes. Otherwise, it would stop at the space and it would look for low here and income there, and we'd get a whole mess of stuff. So in this context, we have, I guess we could do poor. I don't think people in criminology use that term anymore. But we might think of other synonyms. And you could do this for AI too. If you're interested in using AI, you could say, oh, what are synonyms for, oops, I misspelled synonyms. Doesn't matter in AI because it's looking for all the different words. Socioeconomically disadvantaged, I have never heard that one used. So this is kind of like a microwave oven. It just kind of like throws stuff out there and hopes for the best. Indigent is like from like the 17th century. Impecunious? I've never heard that word before. So it looks like we're doing pretty good for low income. The word of the day is impecunious. I'm gonna use that. Man, what's that from? Like the 19th century? So what we do after we find everything, so there's like 70,000 things like that, and then we do the and, then we want to narrow it down to cash bail. And I'm going to do or bail. And there might be other synonyms for bail as well. So again, it's not looking for related terms. It's only looking for those. So like what I said before, where there's like lots of stuff, if we go to like the timeline, there's probably stuff that's like goes back like way back into the 20th century, maybe earlier. But what you would do is click on peer-reviewed journals. And I recommend sorting by the newest first, because if we go by oldest, let's go by oldest. Let's see what the oldest one is. 1926. It might be irrelevant if it's 100 years old. So I would say go for the newest stuff, because especially since the pandemic, the way that social sciences has changed and policy making, it's really different. So look at things like the role of the dietitian. So some of these might not be relevant. Humerus fracture, we're getting some medical stuff in here. Oh, here we go. This one looks good. How do we get around this though if we're not interested in catastrophic illness in India? So we want stuff that's related to, oh, here we go. So you could piecemeal go through these, but this is the case where you might want to go to a database that's specific to criminology. And I've got one. So if you go to the Marriott Library homepage again, you go to databases right here. These are all subject specific or format specific. So there's like a videos database, but there's like social sciences databases in general, but then there's some that are related to criminology. Let me show you those. So if you go down to, in our subject heading, criminology, and the librarian, me, should put their favorite one at the top, but there's like criminology collection and criminal justice database. Those are pretty good. Let's look in this one. So instead of looking at everything across all the disciplines, let's go into advanced search and know that we're in the context. So I'm just going to grab these same keywords. And now I don't have to deal with like international health policy or immunology or any of the other things. And when I'm in this database, it's all kind of like courts, criminal justice, policy making, analysis of data, so like outcomes that you're interested in. We can click on peer reviewed, and I'm going to do, should we do the last 3 years? You can do whatever dates you're interested in if this is too narrow. But let's see what we get. How many do we get? I bet 40. 179, well, that's pretty good. So what you would do, here's your strategy. A lot of these, you might want to put, so a lot of these are going to be like not on your topic. That's okay. Since we're not in AI where this is just kind of guessing what you want and serving it for you as quickly as possible, this one's giving you everything that might be pretty close. So you get to curate what you look at. But there's ways of promoting what you're interested in. So let's add another one, and let's do pretrial. Let's narrow it down even further. What do we get with that? 63. Let's do it even further and say if the low income, poverty, or poor, if that was like the thing that you were really interested in, and then it had to have cash bail somewhere and it had to have pretrial somewhere, what you can do is promote the keywords. So I'm going to do this where I want it in the abstract. Let's be bold and say title. Typically I would do abstract because that's kind of like a tight summary of the article. But let's say I'm interested in low income or poverty or poor. That's the most important thing out of those 63 articles. Whoa, there's only 3. But, oh, book review, that's no good. Here we go. The role of race, gender, and poverty on length of pretrial jail stays. That looks pretty good. How bail and pretrial detention fuel inequalities. That's pretty good. And they're from 23 and 25. Here's what you do if you find one that you think you're interested in. You would just go in. Is this a book review too? Because if it's a book review, then we don't have the original data. Let's look at the original article. To get full text, look for this, find it, view it, or oftentimes they'll be like, for full text, click here. The data is what you're looking for. It's easy to find opinions, like this is good, this is bad, but we want the data that tells us why the evidence suggests. Sometimes you have to click on through. If you can't get full text, let me know. I'm going to accept. I want all the cookies. So in the Scholarly article, they go on and on and on. Oh, that's just a book review. Yeah, Scholarly article typically lasts longer. Let's go back. It's kind of a frustrating process. I apologize. Let's go to this one. A multi-site analysis. That one suggests that there's real data for this. If it only lasts for like 1 page, you know it's probably not a Scholarly article. Do I have to log in? Oh, you better give me the full text of the article. Okay. You can click on the PDF or you can just go down in here. what you would look for in a scholarly article is a literature review. Literature review is the first chunk of an article, and that's why it has so many citations. So you can look through here, and each of these statements are something that they use to build up the case for when they do their original study. So if you read the lit review and you're like, whoa, so many people are being held, 65% were held in jail pending legal processing. So pre-trial, that's a huge amount. Average length of stay, short periods of incarceration. These are kind of like historical, but let's go back up. Oh, that was just an introduction to the lit review. So there might be some good ideas in here, inequalities in jail stays, but let's go to their data. The current study, and they tell you where they went. Oftentimes it's not going to give you the complete picture of the entire United States, but it's going to look at very tight samples. So they're looking in St. Louis and Louisville. Here's how they gathered the data. There's the variables. None of this thing that you necessarily need to go into, but the results. Here, for your infographic, is where you can get some sweet, sweet data. So you can see there might be like racial inequities, poverty. Here we go. Whoa, the numbers are wildly different from Louisville to St. Louis. That's a big deal, 65%. And all these different things that you can go through. This might take a little while to churn through, but a data set like this is really, really good. If you're interested in figuring out some, like how to interpret the data set, they often go through and talk about this. So from their data set, they'll give you like bits and pieces, like black females were the group most likely to have short stays, while black males were the least likely to have a short stay. So let's see if they talk about poverty in here. So this is how you'd go through the data. I'm happy to help you go through this. There we go, race and poverty. Oh, more data. So I'm not going to bother you with that. But how you find several articles for your infographic is you can take the little different pieces of that, and you could like do a bar chart of like black females who are poor, black males who are poor, and then just build it up like that. Or it could be like one of those charts that goes like that. There's all sorts of different ways. Maybe AI would be a good place to go too. Your results may vary. Use AI like a microwave as a brainstorm tool. Lastly, if you get too few, just back out in your specificity. Oh, there's still only 3. Maybe I have to go back like 5 years. Let's say all dates. 44. So let me know how it goes, and I'm happy to help, but you're right on track.